Hello and welcome back to Week to Week. Thank you very much for clicking on this week's episode. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a regular viewer, welcome back. My name is William. Together with my fiancée Laura and my brother Andrew, we run the attachment company. Now the whole purpose of these videos is to show you a behind the scenes of what goes on in our small business. That means some weeks we're flat out, there's plenty to show you, there's a lot happening, and some weeks there just isn't. It's paperwork, it's boring office stuff, and it's things that's not very good to show you. So please continue watching this week. It is important. I don't think I've ever said this before, but we never really plan out, or we don't at all plan out the content for these week to week videos. It's just what happens and when it happens on a day-to-day basis in our business. So with that being said, please continue to watch this week. Hopefully there's some more interesting stuff comes up the end of the week. But it is Monday, we're here at our warehouse in central Scotland, and for a change this summer, the sun is out. So let's get after the week, see what's on, we'll bring you along for the journey. So as far as it goes for anything interesting to show you this Monday, we've got one order going out today, a Canjini TC2-100, so 1 metre wide hydraulic flail with the swinging hammers. We'll put the specs up on the screen here to show you. You may or may not have noticed this has been supplied without a hitch bracket and just the factory supplied flat top plate. That's because this particular customer owns a welding and fabrication business. He's going to make his own hitch, put it on his digger. It's going on a 3-ton Takuchi from memory, so let's get it packed up, get it out. SNT will pick that up this afternoon. Alright, order collected, palletways, Stuart Nickel Transport have picked that up. That will be with the customer. It's going to a customer in Wales. He should get that tomorrow. Other than that, not a whole lot to show you for Monday. It has been mainly paperwork and fairly boring stuff that, to be honest, you don't really need to watch. It doesn't make for great viewing for you. However, I do have a meeting with the US this afternoon with Andrew and the team over there. So we will go and take that, a team's meeting, go and take that, see what's on there, and unless anything else comes up, that's probably us for Monday. Tuesday morning, it's 7 AM, we're back in the warehouse and we've come into a bit of an issue this morning. Look at this. And no, that water is most definitely not meant to be there, so we've clearly got a bit of an issue. I checked back the cameras and it seems to have happened yesterday evening, not long after we left, but I can't quite see where it's coming in. So yeah, this floor was wet a while back in that corner and we thought it was maybe, there's a downpipe there on the outside, we thought it was maybe that in the heavy rain not getting away and then coming in under the wall, but this looks to be way worse than that. So hopefully we don't have a leak in the roof. I haven't noticed it before if we do, but we've clearly got some issue to tidy up. Anyway, in more exciting work related news, grading beam over there, that's part of an order to go out this week. Customer is picking it up, so let's get the bracket changed on that, get that ready to go. Then we need to shoot over to the welders, pick up a bit that's to go with that order and a bit that's to go with another attachment that you probably won't see this week, you'll see next week, but it should be hopefully pretty exciting viewing. So let's get on with the day. bracket is drilled and bolted up and the little grading beam is pretty much ready. Let's get over to the welders, pick some things up. First I'll show you what we're taking as well. So these are the little Trevi Benny rotating selector grabs that got delivered last week. If you watched last week's episode, go back and take a look. This is the PMZ03 and we're putting it on a Takeuchi TB260 for a customer. If you've watched any of our videos before, you'll know we keep these top brackets in stock, and the idea is we can weld whatever we need on the bottom of it, or we can try and make it fit whatever we need to make it fit. But you can see obviously the issue on this grab here, so I also wouldn't mind maybe doing a, whatever we do, doing a cover just to cover the top of the rotation motor, and then obviously need to make this match up with the bolt pattern. So that's what we're doing this morning. I will take John and Grant's advice on the best way to go about it. Let's speculate. I think what they'll say is chop the base plate off the pre-made bracket, cut out and drill a new base plate and weld the top, the ears and the pins back on. But I've printed out the drawing for the base plate and I've marked on it the extra bit for the cover for the rotation motor. So let's load that up, get out of here. "6:30 Thursday morning and we have a list of things that need done today, and I need to take a break for a couple of hours this afternoon to go to the airport. So let's get a start on it and I'll jump in and out as we go and let you know what's going on. Starting off small, first order pretty much ready to go. It's a double pin cradle hitch for an Auger Torque X2500 drive unit to suit the customer's Kubota KX016 mini digger. Second order is something a little bit different. It is a first base ground screw. It's something we've had in stock for a while. We have a few of them in stock for one of our own projects. A good customer is looking to build something out of it, so we're supplying the ground screw and a 65mm round hub. He's going to weld the hub to the ground screw, and then hopefully I can get some pictures and video and show you what he's using it for. Next order ready to be packed. It is an Auger Torque stump planer package. It's an 8000 max earth drill with a 350mm S5 stump planer with the square hub and some spare wear parts for the planer as well. That's going as part of a package for a customer's Doosan DX85. DX65, can't remember, it's either 65 or an 85. There is a double pin cradle to go with it, but we don't, of all the stock of top brackets we don't have ones with the right dimensions for this. So Auger Torque are going to make that down at Cheltenham. The customer's in a hurry for it, so he's going to go by there on Monday, pick that up when it's ready. We're going to send this from here. We'll cut some footage in here actually and show you it working. This is a setup that we tested out way back a good few episodes ago on a little 2-ton excavator. They're just using it on either I can't remember, as I said, if it's a 6 or an 8-ton. But yeah, I'll pack this up. You can enjoy some footage of this stump planer working. It is 8:45. We're on order number 5 for the day. I packed a little postal order as well of 2 S4 65mm round hubs. This is order number 5. First ever set of Attachworks pallet forks. Packed up, ready to go. They're going to a local customer, so we're going to go and deliver them in person next. First set of Attachworks pallet forks in general. 1.5 metre long forks, S45 bracket. Let's go, get them loaded up, get them to the customer, and then we need to nip over to Hydroquip, pick up some hoses and fittings for a couple of other orders that hopefully we can also get out today. We're back with the various hose and fittings from Hydroquip. Let's see if we can put these together and get order number 6 for the day out. While we've got the opportunity, let's take a quick look through the hydraulic fittings that we got. Start off with the hose, and we'll start off with the fittings at all. This is to go with that big hitch bracket I mentioned earlier. I'll show you around that in a minute. But fittings wise, and this is why the hydraulic game is difficult. ORFS male to BSP male adapters. So ORFS, we'll just get technical about it. Apologies if I'm boring you. Stands for O-ring face seal. You can see the O-ring in the face of that fitting there. That's obviously a different thread, a different size from the BSP. A lot of the Cymex attachments that we supply use ORFS, hence the need for the adapters. These are the same, they're just a bigger O-ring face seal and a bigger BSP. They're also male-male adapters. We have some Doughty seals, some Doughty washers for the hoses. We've also got some restrictor adapters, so they're 3/8 BSP restrictor adapters. You can maybe see they've got a little 1mm hole in them, opposed to a standard adapter. You can see the difference there versus that. Hopefully you can see that. They are for another application again. I'll show you around that hopefully later on today, if not tomorrow. We've also got 3/8 BSP female swivels to 3/4 BSP male. They're actually related to the restrictor adapters. Again, I'll show you around them when we need them. We've got some hose fittings, so we've got, just to make things even more complicated, metric. So we've had ORFS, we've had BSP, these are now metric. You can see they've also got an O-ring on them, but they've got an O-ring on the female end, and it's coned as opposed to being flat. So we've got hose ends to 3/4 and to 1/2 inch. There to fit the HPX drive grabs that we assembled last week, and we'll be hopefully going out with an order next week. And we're finishing off with some quick release couplers. Simple, self-explanatory. Anybody that's ever worked an excavator and attachment will be familiar. They're what connect your hoses to the hoses from your attachment to the ports on your excavator. We were out of this size and we need them for a couple of orders that's gone out and to send to a customer who we sent the wrong size. So they're here. That's a quick run through the very, very in-depth world of hydraulics and hydraulic fittings. It gets way more complicated than this, but yeah, that's an overview. Let us know in the comments what you thought, and we can include some more technical stuff like this in future episodes. Let me give you a quick tour around this before I pack it up, and then we'll discuss in more detail what it's going on. So that's a 90mm bracket, as I said earlier, or the other day when we picked it up. Two 1-inch 2-wire hoses, 2.5 meters long each, with an ORFS male on one end, a BSP male on the other, and big 1-inch flat face couplings. And there is a small 1/2 inch hose in the back there that I have just made up here. It's got a 1/2 inch BSP male, 1/2 inch BSP female, an adapter on one end, that was one of the adapters we just picked up, to the ORFS male, and a pair of quick release couplers on the other. I'm trying to get this packed up and booked on for palletways before noon, so I'm going to strap this down, wrap it up, get a label on it, and then we'll discuss what it's actually going on. Right, before I put this outside for palletways, Stuart Nickel Transport to collect later on this afternoon, let me quickly tell you what it's going on. So there's a reason we've been making a big bracket that size. It's going on a Cymex CBA, I was going to call it crusher bucket, but it's technically not. It's an asphalt granulator bucket. I'll put some footage in here, let you see one working. If you watched our episode a few weeks back where we were down at Hill Head Show, and we've done the tour of the Cymex stand. There was one of these buckets on it. It's pretty much that bucket. Is the reason we've not seen it here is because there was a bit of a time crunch on getting the demo done. So they've sent to Italy direct to the customer. We're sending the bracket, we're sending the hoses. They're going to bolt it all together and get it out for a demo. And I'm hoping, well, the bucket should be there tomorrow. This should be with them tomorrow. I'm hoping that we can get down and get a look at it working. It is quite well down the country. I'm just going to have to see what our workload is like and when they're planning to actually get it out and use it. So hopefully we can get down and see it working. If we don't get to site to see this one working, I'll put some footage in here, and I will of course let you know the customer feedback. But hopefully it'd be really cool to actually, I've never seen one working in person, so it'd be cool to get to site and actually see what it can do. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to get this out. Hopefully I can get something else done before I need to leave to go to the airport, but we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Bye. 6 p.m. situation update. The airport run took a little bit longer than expected. It was a bit later than expected, but back here maybe half an hour or so, just finishing off putting together one of the tilt buckets. This is the one that we picked apart up from the welders that was getting changed to fit a JCB 8026. It's together, just need to hose it up in the morning, and the customer is picking it up tomorrow afternoon. That's pretty good to see that done. I need to get out of here tonight just after 6. We have a couple of family engagements on, hence picking somebody up at the airport. Bracket is also here for that grab. As I mentioned, we'll get it bolted up in the morning. I think the customer's coming to pick it up tomorrow, along with, I'm just looking for them here as I'm talking to you, along with a couple of tilt buckets. One there, maybe 2, maybe 3 tilt buckets. So yeah, that'd be good to see them get out tomorrow. But anyway, we'll hose this up first thing in the morning, make sure that's ready. Well, S&T were in also and picked up the orders for today. So they'll all be out, they'll all be with the customers tomorrow. And yeah, busy day, but that's us for Thursday. We'll have another early start in the morning. All right, it's Friday afternoon. To be completely honest, never filmed a lot this morning. We ended up a little bit against it time-wise, and to be completely honest, I was not feeling 100% this morning. So yeah, hence no introduction on Friday morning. It is Friday afternoon. Let me quickly run you through what's been going on today. First things first, customer was in to collect a grading beam, an Attachworks grading beam, and a tilt bucket. That was the same customer that bought a breaker, a GBN 30 breaker a couple of weeks ago. You've probably seen us do the bracket on if you watched that episode. He picked both of them up, both for his JCB 8026. That was the grading beam that we used the episode before this. If you want to go back and watch it, it was the one we used on my actual driveway. We just changed the bracket out to suit his JCB. That was the one I showed you that we changed out during the week, and the tilt bucket as well. So he was in and picked that up. That was the first ever Attachworks tilt bucket with the double rams collected this morning. We also had another first, the first ever Trevi Benny PMZ selector grab, sold by ourselves. Customer was in and picked that up as well. So we bolted the bracket up to that. That was the one we picked up from the welders the other day. Bolted that up, hoses were already on it. He's picked that up, and he's also picked that up as a good customer of ours, a local customer. So he picked that grab up. He picked up 2 Attachworks tilt buckets, one for a JCB, one for a Takeuchi TB230 and one for a Takeuchi TB260. They were the ones that we'd modified the top brackets because we'll want to put the slightly smaller version on the slightly bigger machine. So he picked up the 2 of them, and he picked up a Kanjini TC3-130 hydraulic flail. So a really good trailer load out. I'll stick you a little bit of footage in here. So yeah, all in all, busy day with collections, busy day with inquiries. We have a flail order that we took the other day there that I need to go prep and get ready just now, because we're going to deliver that out tomorrow morning, and then hopefully we get to see it in the customer's machine and actually doing some work. So I'm going to go drill out the bracket. I won't bother showing you, you've seen it plenty of times before. Make hoses for it, get that ready. I'll catch up with you in the morning. We'll get over and we'll get that fitted to the customer's machine. Saturday morning, had a customer in early doors, pick up a 350mm S4 tungsten auger. The flail that I mentioned yesterday is ready to go, loaded and ready to go. Made the hoses, tried something a little bit different, put some orange protective hose sleeve on them this time. There's couplers on them, the hitch bracket's bolted up, it's loaded in the pickup. We're going to do some dog training for 5 minutes before we leave. Then we'll get out here, go get this on the customer's machine, get it installed, get it set up, hopefully show you it working. Sit. Sit. Good. Middle. Good. Ready to come? Sit. Good. Good. There we go, working for our breakfast this morning. Right, back to serious business. Let's go get this put on the customer's machine. Successfully delivered and installed. Thank you very much, Andy at Eastford Excavations, again for the business. It is very much appreciated. That was, or is, the Canjini PC1-100. That's a 1 metre wide version with the swinging hammers. I'll put the spec on the screen here so you can see it. On a Kubota KX037. You can see spins it up really nicely actually. We tested it a little bit out there, tracking and cutting, and as long as you're slow enough and you feather the track levers, she will track and cut, which for a 3-ton Kubota is pretty good going, because they are notoriously, you're right, they are notoriously bad for being able to track and use your auxiliary service. So really cool to see that working. Knocked down, you've seen how high that vegetation was in the field there, so knocked down some of that. I had a bit of a go with it, and hey, good to see it working. We don't get out on site all the time to see everything we send out, so when it's local and a nice local customer there, it's good to take a couple of hours, just get it out, plug it in, make sure she's working right, make sure it's spinning up properly, and see it going to work. So that's job done for this morning. I had a bit of an educated guess at the hose length, and they've turned out really nice. They weren't too long, so they weren't getting in the road, but they were long enough to reach the couplers, and the hose guard just keeps it all nice and tidy and cable tied together. So yeah, really pleased with that setup, looking good. Job done for this morning. Let's get back to the yard, then on to the next job for the day. I wasn't 100% sure we were committed to coming to this afternoon, but I'm glad we made the hour-and-a-half drive. The sun is out. For the 4 people that have been watching our videos long enough to remember this time last year, we are at Errol Airfield in Perth for the Scottish Plant Operator Challenge, and also the Morris Leslie Vintage Working Plant Weekend. Yeah, so we were up here last year, a series of challenges basically for operators. So we'll get in and I'll give you a quick look around, and hopefully I can do some voiceover and explain some of the challenges. And I can hear some of the vintage plant working. It's not really my scene, but I'll take you a spin by, hopefully show you some of the stuff that is working. So yeah, sun's out, spend a couple of hours here, see who we can see who we can meet, see what we can see, and yeah, let's go. just like that, we're back at the yard, enjoying a lovely, it must be said, a lovely sunset. Glad I went today, glad we made the effort. Spoke to a lot of good people, had a lot of good discussions, showed face. Yeah, all in all, it was definitely worth it. Been back a few hours, went home, got my dinner, just came back down here, getting locked up and getting done for the day. I'm pretty much done for the week. I have some things on tomorrow, so wedding related, that I won't bother showing you because it's just painting in bits and pieces, so it won't be terribly exciting. Laura is on her hen do this evening, so that's why she wasn't away with us today, so I hope she has a great time at that. I would suspect she'll be in no fit state to be doing anything tomorrow, so we'll come down here, do a bit of painting. There's some stuff to get painted for the wedding, which is 2 weeks today. Ridiculous. So thank you to everybody I spoke to today. Thank you for all the well wishes for the wedding. It is very, very much appreciated. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to get home just now, make a start on the speech, because I have typically left that a little bit last minute, but the ideas in my head, I just need to get them onto paper. So yeah, with that, we've made it to the end of another week. It was one that started out with not really a lot scheduled, but turned out to be a fairly busy one. Next week is shaping up to be much the same. It probably will be like this for the next few weeks in the run up to the wedding. And then there's a stack of stuff lined up for after that. So one last note on today, a very, very well run competition. Good to see the growth in it from last year. A lot more people, a lot bigger setup, more of a show, more trade stands. And yeah, something that we will definitely look more seriously into doing in a proper way as a business next year. Just with the move to this place and everything else going on, and Laura not being available today, it just wasn't meant to be this year. So definitely something we'll look at for next year. So big well done to everybody involved that made it happen, all the SPOA, Callum and James and the Women in Plant group, and everybody involved, and anybody I've missed out. So yeah, really, really great day, worth going, worth looking out for next year. If you are at a loose end, look out for it. It'll be around about the same time of year, I would suggest. And yeah, so with that brings us to the end of another week's video. If you've made it all the way to the end, folks, thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. I'm just taking a minute here just to soak it in, just how far we've came in the last year or so. So yeah, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of this week's video, what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of, what you thought was good, what you thought was bad, whatever feedback. I'll try and keep you out the wind. Whatever feedback you have, let me know in the comments below. When you're down there, if you could hit subscribe, hit like, you'd be doing us a massive favour. We clicked over the 1,000 subscriber mark, so thank you very much for that also, and I'll see you next week. Alright? Alright, buddy. Cheery bye now.